You wake up tomorrow morning, and for the first time in months, there's a flicker of excitement inside you. The ceiling above you looks the same, the room hasn't changed, but something in you feels different. That tiny spark is the beginning of transformation. Most people think change is a lightning strike, but in reality, it begins quietly, with a decision. Carl Jung believed that the life we live on the surface is only a fragment of who we are. Beneath it lies an entire inner world, shaping our choices, our moods, our destiny. The moment you become aware of that inner world, you stop living by accident and start living on purpose. This video is not about wishful thinking. It's about using the next 30 days to build a new life from the inside out. Stay with me until the end, because by the time you finish, you'll have a simple but powerful plan for reshaping your habits, your mindset, and your sense of self. Step 1. Meeting yourself each morning. For the next week, before you touch your phone or speak to anyone, give yourself 3 quiet minutes. Sit comfortably, close your eyes if you like, and ask yourself 2 questions. What am I afraid of today? And what am I grateful for? You're not trying to fix anything. You're simply bringing what is hidden into the light. This tiny practice calms your nervous system, steadies your thoughts, and begins training your mind to look inward rather than outward. Over 7 mornings, you'll start noticing subtle changes. Less rush, more clarity. A faint but growing sense of control. Step 2. Choose one shadow habit. Jung used the word shadow to describe the parts of ourselves we hide or ignore. These shadows often show up as habits that keep us stuck. For this first week, don't try to overhaul your entire life. Choose just one habit that has been holding you back. Maybe it's scrolling for hours. Maybe it's postponing important tasks. Maybe it's the way you talk to yourself when you make a mistake. Bring it into the light and gently replace it. If it's procrastination, commit to working for just 10 minutes a day on what matters. If it's harsh self-talk, replace one cruel phrase a day with a kinder one. 7 days of small, consistent action begins to rewire your brain. Step 3. Anchor the new feeling. Change isn't only about what you do. It's about how you feel while you do it. As you practice your morning ritual and your new habit, pause to notice the feeling of self-respect rising inside you. That feeling is like a seed. Water it by acknowledging it. I kept my promise today. Over a single week, this simple acknowledgement builds trust between you and yourself. And self-trust is the root of all lasting transformation. Step 4. Visualize the life you're building. Every evening, take 2 minutes to picture where these small actions are leading. Imagine yourself at the end of 30 days, clearer, calmer, stronger. Feel it in your body. The steadier heartbeat, the lighter step, the unforced smile. This is not daydreaming. It's mental rehearsal, and the brain treats mental rehearsal as real practice. Jung wrote that what you resist not only persists, but grows stronger. When you picture yourself living differently, you're no longer resisting change. You're rehearsing it. By the end of this first week, you'll begin to sense a different rhythm in your days. Mornings feel calmer, your inner dialogue softens, and a quiet strength starts to emerge. It's not dramatic yet, but it's real. This is the foundation upon which the rest of the month will be built. As the second week begins, you'll notice something subtle but powerful. Your days are no longer running you. You're running them. That morning check-in you started has turned into a quiet anchor. Instead of waking up and feeling scattered, you wake up and know exactly what to do first. This is the week to build on that new stability. Carl Jung wrote that we don't become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. The first week helped you see your shadows. Now you're ready to work with them. Start by expanding your morning practice. After your 2 questions, what you fear and what you're grateful for, add one more. What small, courageous thing can I do today? You're not looking for grand gestures. It could be replying to a difficult email, making a phone call you've avoided, speaking a truth you usually swallow. Tiny acts of courage done daily accumulate into a sense of real power. Each time you follow through, you teach your nervous system that fear is not a stop sign, but an invitation to grow. Over 7 days, this builds resilience almost without you noticing. At the same time, begin to strengthen your environment. In the first week, you worked on one habit. Now, look at the spaces you live and work in. Do they mirror the person you're becoming or the person you're leaving behind? Take 15 minutes a day to clear a corner, tidy a drawer, arrange a desk, or delete old files from your phone. You're not just cleaning. You're sending a message to your unconscious mind that your outer world is making room for a new inner world. This simple act reduces friction and triggers a surprising sense of lightness. Many people feel an immediate mood lift simply by changing their physical space. Week 2 is also about feeding your mind with better material. The thoughts you think all day are shaped by what you consume. Choose one uplifting book, podcast or video series and give it 10 minutes each day instead of your usual scrolling. As you do this, you'll notice the language inside your head start to shift. Instead of hearing only your own doubts, you'll start echoing the voices of teachers, mentors, and ideas that lift you higher. Jung believed that the psyche hungers for meaning. When you give it better food, it naturally begins to heal. By the end of the second week, you'll probably experience a dip, a day or two where you feel tired, unmotivated, or doubtful. This is normal. It's the point where your old patterns start to fight for survival. When this happens, don't panic and don't quit. Return to the basics, your morning questions, your one courageous act, your tidy space. Change isn't linear. It's a series of loops that gradually spiral upward. Remind yourself that the dip is a sign of progress, not failure. Moving into the third week, you'll begin to feel a shift in your identity. You're no longer someone who is trying to change. You're someone who lives differently. This week is about deepening that new identity by practicing self-respect in every area. Start with your words. Notice how you speak to yourself and about yourself to others. Drop the little self-insults and apologies. Replace them with clear, calm statements. For example, instead of saying, "I'm so lazy," say, "I'm learning to manage my energy better." This subtle change shapes how others see you and, more importantly, how you see yourself. Add a daily act of generosity. It doesn't have to cost money. It could be a kind message, a small favor, a compliment, a silent prayer for someone. Generosity expands your sense of connection, which in turn reduces anxiety and self-absorption. Jung wrote that loneliness does not come from having no people around you, but from being unable to communicate what matters. Acts of generosity break that isolation and open you to a sense of belonging. Also in week 3, practice deliberate solitude. Take 10 or 15 minutes each evening without your phone, television, or any input. Just sit, walk, or look at the sky. Let your mind wander. This is not wasted time. It's integration time. Your psyche needs quiet moments to weave your new habits into a coherent self. Many people report sudden insights during these short pauses. A new idea, a solution to a problem, or a memory that clarifies something from the past. Write these down. They're like small gifts from your deeper self. By the end of week 3, your life may look the same from the outside. Same job, same home, same people. But inside, you'll feel a stronger backbone, a clearer voice, and a gentler heart. You'll notice that you recover faster from setbacks, that your environment feels more supportive, and that a quiet confidence has started to replace the old, anxious drive. This is the crucial turning point. You're no longer forcing change, you're becoming change. Hold this lightly. Don't demand perfection. Each day you kept your promise to yourself, you rewrote a little piece of your story. That story is now beginning to tell you who you really are. When the final week arrives, you'll be ready to step into it not as an experiment, but as a new way of living. As the 4th week dawns, you're standing at a quiet crossroads. 3 weeks ago, you were curious and maybe a little skeptical. Now, After small daily acts of courage, order, generosity and reflection, you can feel something solid under your feet. This week is about anchoring that transformation so it becomes a natural part of you instead of a 30-day experiment. Carl Jung often spoke about individuation, the process of becoming who you truly are. These final 7 days are your invitation to step fully into that. Begin each morning not only with your questions, but also with a declaration. I am living the life I choose. Say it out loud. This isn't about pretending everything is perfect. It's about claiming authorship. You've spent 3 weeks clearing space in your environment and your mind. Now you affirm who is filling that space. You. When you speak these words consistently, you start to behave like someone who makes decisions instead of waiting for permission. That shift alone can transform relationships, work, and health. This week is also the time to act on one dream you've been postponing. Pick something small but real. Sending the first email about a course, applying for a job, sketching a business idea, signing up for a class, reaching out to someone who inspires you. Do it even if you feel unready. Think of it as planting a seed in the soil you've been preparing all month. The action itself is less important than the signal it sends to your unconscious. I am moving forward. Jung wrote that we are not what happened to us. We are what we choose to become. This one brave step is your proof. As you go through your days, practice deliberate gratitude, not just for external things, but for the changes inside you. Notice the small differences. The way you breathe before reacting, the way your room looks, the way your inner voice speaks. Gratitude cements growth. When you thank your own efforts, you stop looking for constant external validation. This inner stability is one of the strongest markers of genuine change. During the final days, review your month gently. Don't grade yourself. Simply look back at your journal entries, your environment, your courageous acts, your moments of solitude. Let the pattern emerge. You'll see that transformation is rarely a single dramatic event. It's a string of quiet decisions repeated until they become identity. Seeing the pattern is powerful because it shows you that you can apply the same process to any area of your life at any time. You no longer need to wait for motivation or miracles. You have a method. To deepen the shift, share something from your journey with someone you trust. It could be a friend, a sibling, an online post, or a private message. When you speak your story, you reinforce it in your nervous system, and you might inspire someone else to begin their own change. This isn't about boasting. It's about creating a bridge between your inner and outer life. Jung said the meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. Your sharing could be the spark for another person's awakening. The last piece of week 4 is to create a small ritual to mark your completion. Humans are wired for rituals. It could be lighting a candle and writing a letter to your future self, taking a walk at sunrise, cleaning your space one more time, or simply sitting in silence for 5 minutes, reflecting on how far you've come. Give yourself a moment to feel proud. That feeling isn't vanity, it's fuel. It tells your brain, this is who I am now. When you anchor change and emotion, it lasts. By the end of the month, you're not only doing different things, you're seeing yourself differently. You've proven that change doesn't require huge resources or dramatic events. It requires intention, small, consistent actions, and the courage to face your own mind. This is the essence of Jung's teaching, that the outer world reflects the inner. And when you take responsibility for your inner world, life itself begins to shift. So as you finish this journey, hold on to 3 truths. First, you have far more power to direct your life than you once believed. Second, every big transformation begins with one small, honest act. Third, you can return to this process whenever you need to realign. It's not a one-time challenge. It's a lifelong practice of self-creation. Take a deep breath right now. Imagine the version of yourself who has lived these 4 weeks fully. Picture how they stand, speak, breathe. That person is not a dream. That person is you, already unfolding. If you've followed along until now, you've taken the first steps toward a completely new chapter. Don't stop here. Keep nurturing the habits you've built. Keep choosing small daily courage, and keep listening to your deeper self. In a world that moves so fast, you've just proved to yourself that steady inner work can change everything. If this journey resonated with you, watch this video till the end and start applying these steps today to witness your own transformation.